Okay, so what we're going to be doing today was be smoking this some gun right here. It's Beyonce. Looking for some vacuum leaks. My last video, you saw me installing the exhaust manifold, and then I moved the camera and I lost everything. So you're going to have to trust me that after that, I got everything put together, and I had a whole bunch of problems getting it to run right. I traced it down to multiple vacuum leaks. Apparently when I had done some stuff, I left some nuts loose, like the timing chain cover was loose. I think I had a vacuum leak there, had a vacuum leak somewhere else. I put a new gasket on the exhaust intake manifold gasket, although I don't think I need it. I think it was mainly that timing chain cover, that little inspection plate. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is we've plugged up the intake, and I'm going to blow into, supposed to smoke into the, hang on, we're smoking some gun out. Let's smoke them down. Let's smoke them up, Johnny. So I got the blunt here, all ready to go. Peace pipe. There we go. Let's smoke them up. So what I'm going to do now, try to capture any smoke that might be coming out of the exhaust manifold or out of the manifold connection. We're going to tilt this back down. Keep an eye out for that smoke. Right there. We're looking for smoke. Oops. Pretty tightly sealed. Blew that right out. Take the sunglasses off so I can see what I'm doing. No smoke. Woo. Smooth too. Yeah, we're looking good here. I'm not seeing anything. Okay. So let's put this thing out. We're going to move on to a start. So I got to rehook up the intake manifold, the airflow meter. That's important. Won't run without that. Hook this thing up. Got to plug it in. Seeing all this, I hope. Okay. Go ahead and hook up the vacuum gauge. Right. I started this one time, I forgot to take this cup out. Made the funniest sounds. It would crank and make all kinds of horrible sounds. It was trying to suck that cup into it. I've got the timing light out. We'll set the timing up too. Muffler on it. Here goes the muffler. Okay. Get the wide angle shot here. Make sure we got everything cranked up. like I said before, oh, the other thing I had forgotten to tighten up was the PVC pipe, which is on the bottom of this manifold right here. That hose clamp was off. I think it was leaking a little bit around that. The actual PVC valve was a little bit loose, so I just had everything loose. I don't know what I was thinking, but I had a little bit of leaks everywhere. It's caused me all kinds of grief. Okay, so we should be good to go now. Just check and make sure everything looks good. Haven't done anything stupid. I'd like this to start on the first try. Yeah, looking good. So nothing's gonna fall off. Here we go. Good, because that was really high before. I couldn't figure out why. Okay, so while the engine's warming up, we'll set the timing. See if we can see that happen here. I don't know if it's going to show or not. We'll try. No, it's not. It's on the 5-degree mark. A little too retarded now. Right there. That's 10 degrees. Take a look at the vacuum gauge. Best vacuum in the world. This engine's always been like that. Warms up and gets a little bit better. And we can see our air fuel mix. I'm at about 13. That's a little bit on the rich side. The engine's still warm. I mean cold. Advance that time a little bit. There we go. Advance the time a little bit, get a little better vacuum. And that, like I said, air fuel mixture is kind of rich. Waiting for the coolant temp to get over 140. We're almost at 140 now. Right, where it's at now is pointing at 140. And by that, it's basically it's no longer taking enrichment direction after you get down to over 140. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to adjust this right here, which is the idle air bypass, and see if we can get that thing up close to the 14. I have to have more air has to bypass the flap, so I want to open this screw, which lets more air go through without going through the flap. So we're going to counterclockwise this adjustment. Okay, we're at 14.2.
that's good. We're about 14.23. That's about it. See how she revs. There you have it. Really check that timing again. Let's get you down a little lower here so you can see that idle bit. You're probably not going to be able to see it with the glare. Nah. There's just too much glare on that thing. There you go. About 14. Now is I can try different AFMs and just see how that affects it. I think I could get my spare in like I'm always doing that right now. But there you have it. I probably ought to mix that up a little bit with an idle mix, a little idle better. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the skid screw clockwise now. Ready, here we go, turn it clockwise. Slightly richer idle. It comes off idle better now. Good. All right. Sorry about that. That's good for now. Oh, I'm sucking air on the fuel. I'm dropping down to 20. That's not good. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. This is why these see-through lines are handy. See that? That's lower than it should be considering that vacuum. So let's see if we can put some gas in there if that doesn't improve, right? So what we're going to do now, we're going to monitor that fuel. I'm going to put some more gas in here. That's not cool. Yeah. spraying gas everywhere. There you go. Any better? Yeah, now we got solid fuel. Came up a little bit, about 29, 28, 29, which I'm kind of surprised it's that low considering the the vacuum's come up too. Vacuum's up a little bit. All right. There's our air fuel ratio. For the air fuel ratio sensor, I have an air fuel ratio sensor right there. That's called an air fuel ratio sensor. A little inside joke there for people who read the forums. That auto response, that's a lot better, a lot snappier. Okay, well that's it. Let's go down. That's all there is to it, children. Don't do this at home. I've lost my gas cap. That's not good. Let's see what my temp is. At 165, 170. So anyway, where's my gas cap? So that's that. That's the setting the timing, setting the air fuel ratio mixture using the air fuel mixture sensor. Making sure you have gas. Like I said, there's lots of little things that can mess you up. Like I said, when I first started this, I had a variety of air leaks just from being haphazard about taking the engine off and reinstalling everything. So after you install the new manifold, all the new gaskets, I had all kinds of coolant leaks. I had not bothered to put good gaskets on, so I had to fix that too, so I wouldn't be having coolant leaking everywhere. One of the things that should have given me a heads up, I had an oil leak that I had never had before on this. Well, you shouldn't just develop an oil leak all of a sudden. It was coming right from underneath the fuel. Oh, well, you've got your fuel pump is leaking. Magically, your fuel pump starts leaking. No. Look above the fuel pump. It's leaking from the front cover. Look above the front. Keep going up. And that's when I found, let me see if I can show you. That little guy right there. See those 3 screws? That top one was loose, and the other one were just hand tight. So I was sucking air into the under the valve cover, or into the crankcase of the engine. And on these fuel injected engines, you can't have any air leaks anywhere, including the crankcase. That's why if you take the oil cap off, it will run like crap. You take the oil filler tube out, you'll hear it. It's not as bad as taking the oil cap off, but it will definitely give you some problems. Anyway, everything's all good to go now. I'm going to shut it down, and I'm going to leave this engine installed on this stand. I got a couple people who I'm going to help out putting their engines on the stand later, just to test run it. But rather than leaving the stand unhooked, I'm going to leave it all hooked up. The plan being there, when you bring your engine over, we'll start this one, okay? See how nice it runs? That way, if we put an engine on it, we'll know it's not the stand if it doesn't work right. Because if you put an engine on it, if I had left it all disassembled like that, and then bolted an engine to it, and it didn't run right, I'd say, I wonder if I could somehow goofed up my engine stand, or if it wasn't working. This way, the stand works. We unbolt the engine, which is very easy to do. Put a new one on. If it doesn't work, or it runs badly, you can be pretty well assured it's got to be the engine, not the stand. Now, granted, you can still screw up the installation of the stand, but with all the nuts and bolts and gaskets and all that stuff ready to roll, I doubt that. I doubt that would happen. So that would almost certainly point to a engine problem and not a stand problem. But anyway, that's why I'm going to